should be logged in here already.
Okay, so this is your feedback for evaluation question 1.
Yeah, it's already logged in. That's just someone needs it. Send you what? Font. Because apparently it should.
Publish it. Then you refresh it.
Yeah, I'll send it to your email now.
Okay. So you have your introduction here.
Yeah, it's just it's running on the
Okay, good. So what you could include here if you wanted to is you could discuss, or you could incorporate some of Burton's theories about this idea of what genre is, and why you have to sort of use it as a producer in order to give audiences so they carry expectations of what they're going to watch. The other thing you could refer to is how, in terms of developing or even challenging them, you need to discuss Steve Neal's ideas that genre is about repetition and difference, repeating the established conventions, but making sure there are some differences to keep the audiences interested, because otherwise the genre becomes stale over time. Okay, so here you're talking about the conventions of the poster. Good, yep, excellent. Yep. Okay, so what you could do here, this is good. I think what I'd be looking for though is something a bit more interactive, where I've got a close-up of the building block. So maybe you could get a close-up snapshot of that, put that there. Or alternatively, you could take a close-up of the mise-en-scène that you're referring to. I mean, some of the stuff here, for example, you mentioned the blood would be important, and the pill, that's not been referred to because that gives key things, so I think you need to mention that. But I would expect to see like a kind of slideshow that kind of rotates through these specific close-ups of things that relates to what you're writing about here to get the excellent, really. Okay, that's fine, that's good. Okay, again, so this is better, yeah, so we've got the close-ups that are going on. I feel like we should be talking probably about things like the colours though, shouldn't we? And we should be talking about how that relates to the film colours. I would imagine talking about things like the building block would be important as well. And maybe the non-verbal communication of her reaching towards the camera, and the same kind of consistency with the effects that you put over it, that kind of high contrast. So I think there needs to be more to this. This is not a great deal here. Okay, that's good. So you've gone to cover lines. I don't see any picture of the cover line though, so that's interesting. You talked about red circles. Again, here you could talk about the red, what that symbolises. So again, you know, you've got your semiotics going on there. I'd expect to see words like deinotation and connotation. What I would expect to see probably here is this kind of thing, this side by side. So I presume this is from a real media text. I should see that real media text there, so I can see the side by side. So I mean, there is some sort of analysis here, so it's kind of probably C grade at the moment that we're working to. Again, it's that side by side that I should be seeing where you've seen it, so that's the Hellboy one. But I don't see this magazine in full to know where I kind of am, if that makes sense. Again, show me where you've used it, or whether you've challenged it, or whether you've developed it by putting that word in bold. You haven't mentioned either of those 3 words at the moment, so that does need to be, you know, that is a concern because it's not addressing the question. Okay, so we've got the trailer. Okay, yeah. So this is good. We've got a side by side going on here. Yeah, that's good. So you've got those on there. Very good. I mean, here you could talk about the structure that we've talked about, couldn't you? You know, the fact that 20 seconds in, you have your jump scare. 40 seconds in, I think it was, you have your second jump scare, and then you have your kind of montage until the end. So, you know, use the stuff we talked about in class to discuss the structure. I think that's quite important as well. And what I would do then is I would edit down, or I would use GIFs for where those moments are, so I don't have to sit through the whole thing. I mean, this is good, but you can add to it, I think, for the higher grades. Okay, so again, title slates, this is good because it lets me go through all of them, that's important. Again, I haven't, if you're using it here as a template, Yeah, again, you haven't told me why it's a convention though, so it doesn't show me the higher. And yeah, oh, here we go, you've got them here. Yeah, and you've talked about imitated, so again, put those words in bold to discuss that you've used it and you've not challenged it. Okay, that's good. Okay, we might want to talk about the legality of having the titles, the billing block as well. Okay, so sound, we've talked about diegetic sounds. So this is good, I like the moments where you've shown me bits from the trailer. That's probably useful to have that up here as well though, isn't it? Where you're showing me the bits like the texture shots and then the, you know, the jump scares and stuff. So I think you can develop that quite significantly, Simon. Okay, so you talked about sound. I mean, here you could put in your sound design straight away. So you use the stuff you've already got on your blog to put in here. Same thing with the opening of this, you know, we've talked about genre, put in your mood board for genre conventions. That would make total sense to put that in there. And again, you're reusing as much as you can in your research and planning section on genre. Okay, coming down, 3-act structure, not really sure we're interested in that, to be honest. This bit here, or this bit here, we're talking about how you've used it, or how you have, because this is overlapping with what Simon's written about here. Yeah, so I think, Simon, you need to kind of maybe change that, because she's writing about Todorov, and talk about the structure in relation to the structure that I gave you. You even used the drawings that you wrote out of the timeline that we did, do you remember, in class? Okay, this is interesting, this is good, yep. Okay, so how you've used it, that's important, yep. Again, you need to compare this to a real horror film though, because otherwise it doesn't show me you've used them or challenged them. So if you're going to use, I mean, Jaws isn't really similar to your film. I mean, up here you've mentioned The Conjuring. So again, what I'm lacking across the entire post at the minute is comparisons with actual real media texts, like a side-by-side thing. So that's good. This is what I need with the sound thing though. Yeah, this is good. Yep. Okay. Okay, so overall pretty good. I think it's kind of held at a C grade at the moment though. Again, there can be more work to be done to it. They could move it to a B grade. For the B, I need more analysis of how you've used and more comparison with existing texts, the ones that have influenced it, literally like a side-by-side. For the A, again, you need to consider things like maybe editing just little sections of your film out, so I can see where the texture shots are and jump scares and the rest of it. And I think there needs to be more use of GIFs as well to present it in a more kind of interesting way. If you want the excellent. Okay, thank you very much.